Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you. Today we're looking at a pretty special knife. This is a Remington bullet trapper. Not only that, it's a silver bullet trapper. So hopefully you can see this here. It's in bone. That's your silver bullet. It says sterling right there. So it's actually a sterling silver bullet. This one was manufactured in 1989 by Camillus Corporation. So it doesn't say Camillus on it. I do believe, if I can get that, it's going to say 1989. Very nice walk and talk on this. Very nice build. Little bit thick on the bone. I do have a video I shot of this compared to an original somewhere in the 1920 to 1930s. So I'm going to change positions here so I'm not messing with this light. Just so hard to get this. So we'll go ahead and change positions. Okay, and we're back, and we're going to take a look at this kind of in the shade, and believe it or not, that provides pretty decent viewing. So this has a beautiful brown, in my opinion, and a very nice jigging. Hopefully that's coming through. We have this lanyard, a brass lanyard loop. Very nice fit and finish. Brass liners. Nice thick steel springs. And you can see how this bone's cut. Like I said, it's thick. Now this side is much darker. You get a little bit of brown coming through here, and it's just darker. If you get this in the light, I get a little bit of brown here, a little bit of brown here. But I think the jigging's done well. I think the blades are very nice, and the overall build quality is very good. Yes. Not feeling, I maybe the tiniest amount on that rear pin. So we got a little bit of sun if I move my shoulder, so you can see that. So anyways, let's talk about this. So I'll just sum it up real quick. Remington started making knives in about 1920, 1922. They started making bullet knives. I do believe over the course of the years, they made somewhere upwards of 25 different patterns. And the Trapper is one of the most sought after. And these knives can bring 750 to 1500, maybe even 1800. Just old vintage Remington knives have this beautiful bone in them. But this knife is very much in 1982. So Remington quit making knives in 1940, 1982. They contracted Camillus. And this is in effect a reproduction. Although if you want to see a better reproduction and hear a story, check out my Winchester knives. How do you like that for advertising? So this is very similar. Like I said, compare it to the original. However, the original, this pin would be moved here. It was a bone. They stopped that, Camillus did, in about 1989 and realigned it as they were also making Cocobolo handles, Cocobolo wood. It was splitting the wood. So you will find these with pins here and here, or here and here. And I think 1989 was the separation. Very nice. You can see there's a nice half stop. And it does have the Remington tank stamp, which is actually pretty good. We'll talk briefly in a second. Camillus did these from, I want to say, 82 until about 2004 or 2007. Take a look. I like their blade grinds. I like the way they look. I like how thin they are. It seems like a hollow grind, and it's just very nice. Over here should be our model number. I want to say it's an R1123. That's going to be your model number for the Trapper. So let's see. Okay, that's actually not bad. We'll open up this. This has a little bit stronger pull, maybe sitting at 6.5. What are we looking at? There's a 1989. Was a great year. I was in high school still, so it brings back some memories. There's Remington on the blade, the Remington trademark. This is one of my favorite spade blades of all my knives. It has this cant down. It's even better than the original. I dislike, it's just the slightest difference, and I'll just show that off. It's a beautiful. I even have a case saddle horn, the large saddle horn, and I might use this knife to compare. The saddle horn, of course, has a honkin', what are you gonna call that? Spade blade. So there we go, taking a peek at this. What's our comparison knife? Well, I'm glad you asked. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, what happened, let's put this down. Hey guys, so sorry about that. Sometimes get called away, interrupted, whatever. What I was saying here is what happened with the Remington Trapper. So in about 2004, 2007, Camillus was no longer the maker. They went with Baron Son. And this is not a Baron, well, this is and isn't a Baron Son. This is a 1-year release, Baron Son doing Queen. Never had any verification. And mine, if you go watch the video on this, I got the saw cut bone and it was split, and it just got caught and it broke off all the way to these pins. So anyways, to be fair, I guess we'll compare the quality this way. I paid about $60 for my Baron Son Trapper, and I paid, like I said, 90 bucks for this Camillus. Don't know for sure the steel. I heard everything from 1065 to 1095. There's the alignment of the pins, and but we have, in my opinion, similar but different. Take a look at how the bone, the thickness of the bone here. We can really only compare it on the one side, because this bone here broke off, but we'll compare the blades. The Baron Son trappers, bullet trappers, do have a complaint about the tang stamp not being crisp and clean, but looks like pretty similar blades. I'm not saying that they made this Queen knife to the same specs, so it might not be, you know, the Baron Son, what I want to call them, Remington trappers, bullet trappers, might have different size specs. A lot of them have a green bone, a green stag bone. So just so you know, and they did those from 2007 range, I want to say to 2012, at which time Buck got a contract. And Buck did theirs, oh, what did they do? Green. They did a lot of green downrind. They might have done some green bone. So it's a very similar. You're going to see the Buck slimline trapper in there, and some Buck Stockmans. So anyways, there you go. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Look for the video on this which is the old one. It's quite a story. I got an old vintage one. Look for more videos on my bullet series, and I plan on doing the entire family. Thanks, guys.